All right, guys, let's take a look at the morning update. In this video, we'll take a look at our semiconductors, AI stocks, memory stocks, all that good stuff in this video. We do have things a little bit on the green side. We do have some strong contenders as well. For example, AMD just pushing through at and to its new all-time highs. Can it hold there? We'll talk about that. We also have Intel showing a lot of good strength in its continuation of the price action. That's a good sign. We do have some laggard as well, though, like Micron today is still above $1,100, but is not showing too much of a strength, a little bit going sideways. And if market would not have been green, this thing would be struggling. So if market is super green and this is still struggling, that indicates something. Seagate is negative, but let's take a look at one at a time at all these individual semiconductors memory stocks in this video. Now, before going further, as always, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. So we'll start off with Nvidia. Now, Nvidia is bouncing, and that's okay, that's good. It's a bounce though, and this is something I have been mentioning, that a bounce may come here, as it's showing some signs of that yesterday, and it got to our next magnets, and that's where it's building up this bounce, and also this 200 days moving average is providing it that an extra buffer there. Now let's get to the hourly interval buffer of a bounce, I mean to say. Now let's get to the hourly interval. Now the zone that I have been talking lately is 197 area, and this is the zone where I have said that, let me actually change the color of it to, yeah. So this is where right now, if we can start to establish above 197, we may start to build more strength. Okay, and that's pretty much what we are watching right now. As you can see, first 2 hours of rejection we had at that zone, the third hour is trying to break, and this is how these price action is supposed to work. When we are trying to change the direction, first time there will be rejections, and then we want to see if those rejections are eventually voided by the follow through candles. If it happens, which it's doing right now, that's a great sign. That indicates that this rebound that we had here, which above blue zone, I said 197, rebound is only until they're possible as a part of a rebound, and then above that is where multi-day strength would build up. It's doing that right now, and as if it can continue to do it and hold above it now, it does allows it to push to 200, and then after 203 area, the significant level zone right up there. Okay, so is this super bullish now? Well, it is gaining multi-day strength, let's put it that way. We are not full on bullish. You can use the trend line for all as for reference as well here, but you are better off using the levels and the zones. Now definitely, as I said, the zone overall structural change zone, guys, is here. I'm gonna move that zone, we don't need to highlight that there, so I'm just gonna reuse that. That will also keep the chart a bit clean. This is the zone we would be watching overall. But yes, as if we can hold above blue zone at 194 and start to stay above 197 area that I just showed you an hourly interval, we do have a multi-day strength building up until 203. So if your horizon is a day or two, and if you are wanting to take a reversal trade, that is this to the upside, remember overall structure is not bullish until that yellow zone up there. This has a room to rebound, but you will have to have a partial stop losses along the ways below these very zones as well, because it's still a part of a rebound, but it is in the multi-day strength above 197 until 203. So that's a near term right now, a bounce coming on Nvidia. Let's take a look at AMD now. AMD is the one that is strong, and its bullish structure finally is breaking out of a potential which was a distribution phase. However, when we are seeing now, we don't have a candle close yet, so we still have to see how this candle closes, and tomorrow also we are not out of the woods. We still have to hold this zone tomorrow. Okay, so if we hold this zone tomorrow, then we are good. So the point is that we don't want to be in the case of a liquidity grab, which means the stop losses in this case of all these, if any short sellers building up here. You can also take a look at my universal indicator, short volume data. Let's turn that on AMD. You can use this across any given stock. That will help you to understand if we have, short seller spikes. I don't see spike in the short sellers. Yeah, we did have high amount come in at these days, which pretty much still is part of this zone. So but we do have like 21 here, 20, 22. These are good, above 22, but this also adds to the squeeze part, as if we squeeze through and we have high short sellers lining up, that also happens the squeeze, but then their stop losses are right above there as well. So that's pretty much the part of the squeeze, right? So anyhow, it helps you to just get some more data points to make decision. And if you need access to my tools, guys, that tells you so much. All right, just check out the details in the description of this video. For example, if you were doing day trading AMD today, right, like how would you know what to do? Let's turn on my another tool here. As you can see, we opened above the cloud, right? Structures started bullish, green, and it's still bullish, guys. Still in the green structure. We are still doing really nice. I took a day trade on Tesla personally, but AMD, if you are day trading it, it's your clear indication. Technically, you are still holding that position. If you took a day trade using my tools, then there is no point of selling your day trade position right now. We're in the bullish structure. Okay, I just turned it off. So okay, so the point is that yes, AMD previously, which was looking like possibly a distribution phase, and I mentioned that if either we have to see a breakout to the upside, then only it's worth for us to carry the remaining position at this point. Yeah, and that's what I have been saying. You don't have to buy or sell every day AMD here. You either just sit back after taking some partial profits in this area, right, and let the rest of the position decide. Either we see a breakout or a flush, and accordingly get out, stop loss, and or add, or just hold, whatever you want to do. I personally don't like to add after these extensions. I like to just continue to hold the remaining position, but you can do whatever you like. Now, so this is what we want to see tomorrow, is hold of 546 to 558 tomorrow, and today's candle also. But the point is that we don't want this candle to become a liquidity grab. We don't want it to see a red candle back. If that happens, that's a problem. This candle will start to constitute a liquidity grab. Okay, so anyhow, until that doesn't happen, and structure, as I showed you, still on 5 minutes interval, is bullish. So far everything is looking good on AMD. Let's take a look at ARM now. So ARM was showing us some signs of bounce. It is this bullish again? And well, let's get to the hourly interval. We are not there yet. We are continuing in that rebound and the bounce, but this is the zone I gave you yesterday, 356, and I mentioned that this zone right now, below that, our strength will not build up. Will be, if anything happens, part of a rebound, but nothing more than that. And as you can see, it's rejecting right at the zone that I gave you, right? So what does it mean? Well, it means it's not in the full-on strength. We'll still have to get above that before we then open up to 379 area. Okay, otherwise below 355 area, this is just a part of a rebound. It doesn't make it bullish. It can still, stumble down there. Broadcom, guys, still remains negative for us. There is not really much happening here. This thing is just not getting low off the market right now. It's still negative. Bounces came along the ways, but those were just bounces, nothing more than that. And I have provided you a zone yesterday. Let me check if I marked it on the hourly interval. I don't think so. Yeah, I didn't mark it here, but that zone will be 386, guys. So 386, yeah, that this significant level. If you have to see any strength build up, this is above what you will have to let it get first. Okay, 386 area, then only there will be a possibility. All right, let's take a look at Micron, the favorite of so many of you. All right, so Micron is is above $1,100, guys, but it is lacking the strength today. However, price action above $1,100 is on the strength side. Okay, let's get to the hourly interval. So hourly interval is trying to stabilize here. Now as we stay above yellow zone, technically strength, it's in the strength, $1,100 above, but the momentum right now is not there today. Okay, and this is where you gotta be careful. All right, $1,100 above, all good. $1,100 below, not good. Okay, below that, this time if it comes down now, guys, without going up, if it comes down, that's pretty much, you know, not saying that it's the top here, but that will indicate that okay, it wanna rest at least. And as if we fall lower, then 968 is what you are watching, but it has a room, just like what AMD did for so many days. You know, Micron may do that, then we'll see which side it likes to break. But right now it's a little bit slower today, and that's where we are. Sandisk is pushing strong today, and this remains technically overall like 1840 above zone. Like overall it has been fine, and it's just pushing through today. All good. A little bit of that multi-day weakness that we were in was completed. This zone that I gave you, 2061, above that I mentioned that strength will come back, or at least yeah, pretty much, because multi-day weakness will be over, right? So pullback will be completed, which means, and above that you can see after holding a support as well there, it is pushing through. So all good. It is technically possible to test highs here, and yeah, that's where it's going. The point is that we will remain in the strength on this thing as we stay above 2166 or even 276 from here on, excuse me, which means pullback is completed. And that's why I gave you that zone early on, right? TSM is coming through, pushing through. This was the zone 440 above, pullback would be completed, and that being the case, and we are pushing through. So yeah, pretty much bullish, all good there. Intel is the one that is being strong as well today, just like AMD. And so this thing, after testing the second zone of support of overall structure 116 yesterday, came back above again 125. That in itself is a bullish sign, testing two significant level zones, and you know, breaking both and gaining both is a sign that it's a very strong strength. And today we are seeing a follow through of that. It remains in the bullish structure, and at this, yeah, so any of these 132 is also a good support. 125 still remains your support, and we don't need this now, guys. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Just we're gonna operate on this zone as your ongoing trailing zone, but we do have a significant level up here as well, so this is your also trailing zone 132. But so far above these zones, it's good and it's bullish. Okay, so all right, the last one for this video is, guys, Seagate. We'll take a look at S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 also, actually. While I talk about that, like yesterday, S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 was done in my other video, guys, members only video, with many other stocks there. So there are many stocks I talk there with my members, and sometimes members also send the request of what stock they want to talk, and I add that to the list. And if they're good, I keep it in the list. Otherwise, I just provide updates as when necessary on those ones. But the point is that a lot of stocks here, a lot of good trades. So Tesla, SpaceX, and SPY, QQ, and many others were talked in members only video yesterday. So if you are curious where were those stocks yesterday, they were in the members only video. All right, so Seagate unfortunately remains in the weakness, guys. Now this is what I pointed out yesterday also. Let's get to the hourly interval. So this is what I pointed out yesterday. I mentioned that yes, it's a momentum that has pushed it above the yellow zone, but it's just the momentum that has pushed. It doesn't mean that it's strong, and you can see it's already coming down. So that's where it still remains in the weakness for us, guys, unfortunately. Okay, so it is not there yet. The signs are not there of the strength on this thing. We will have to stabilize here and show us some green strength. But again, guys, look, it's so extended. You should not be afraid of taking partial profits. But anyhow, right now a little bit of weakness there. All right, let's take a look at now NASDAQ 100 and S&P 500, and we'll wrap up with that. So, and guys, SpaceX, you can check that SpaceX out in the members only videos. I already told my members the play on it, and it's working out just as how I mentioned. Okay, it's back in the game, baby. Okay, but if you want to know more about the levels and zones, you check out the members only videos. You will also find my long-term Tesla plan, guys, that I have been building position. Now before we talk NASDAQ 100, I'll just show you Tesla real quick. Look at this beauty. Yesterday itself it just went $30 up, right? So anyways, all those my long-term positions, how I have been building, and in many stocks, you can check out members only videos. All right, let's get back to NASDAQ 100 here. So NASDAQ 100 is back in the strength, and I mentioned that yesterday to my members. Let's get to the hourly interval. Like first was that as if we continue to hold 703, we can test the zone at 721, which we did yesterday. And then after that, as if we stay at and through and above this yellow zone, it's a strength full on back again, and it's already pushing through, working out as per plan. Now just be careful, we are going for a gap fill here. Okay, but the thing is that above this 724, our price action would remain bullish overall as well. Technically this part of a pullback is complete, and we are good to go up as long as you're above that level. S&P 500 also similar case. Yesterday I told my members that we have come back above the fine line in the sand. Okay, and then let's get to the hourly interval right away, because that's where everything is. And this was the zone 739, which we had to get above, which we did yesterday. And I told my members, as we can hold above through it, technically we are in the strength, and you can see today we are continuing up here in the day, right? We are continuing up in the day. So a good price action on S&P 500 here as well. So yeah, it is looking good, it is looking strong. Okay, so yeah, market is coming back good, strengthful, strong, nice. Okay, we definitely have again some of the especially AMD and Intel today are really looking good and strong. There are some other semiconductors as well looking good, but across the board, give or take green. And that's all I had for you guys in this video. If you found it helpful, valuable, please hit the like, subscribe, and with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care, bye.